Y'all, what's going on? It's your boy Charles Lewis, man. I'm here with my main man Twan, man, and we're gonna dive in. I got a couple questions, man, because he's one of my favorite clients that I like to work with, man. We made a real personal connection, and I'm taking a real personal interest in his success and what he's got going on because everything, man, he hit the ground running. And I mean, once he signed up for the service, I mean, he took off. I didn't really even have to do much. Twan came in from a referral from he came in from a community, a real estate community called Real Newbies, and so I know he does the dogs, and I'll let him explain into that. He breeds dogs, but he also does real estate. This man is an entrepreneur. He does a lot of things. He's doing fix and flips out there. He's doing Burr method. He's doing a lot of things out there, and he came to me through a referral for our service. But before we get into that, Twan, tell us how things were going on prior, what you had going on. I know you got the dogs, the breeding the dogs, and then like kind of tell us how prior to adding on to my service, adding my service to your life, what was going on with you?
Well, okay, man. First of all, thanks for having me, man.
No
Man, I had a lot going on, Charles. I'm just gonna be honest, man.
Right.
First of all, I'm a husband, a father,
Right.
a granddad. So that came first, along with and next, like you said, I breed dogs, and I just had a lot going on in my life as far as timing. So breeding dogs and always wanting to do the real estate and feeling like I just didn't have enough time to do it or to be able to find property, make phone calls, and things of that nature. So when I got a hold to you and you explained to me like, man, you can do this or you can get a VA. I was like, a VA.
Right.
I'm like, man, okay, that might make sense. So after meeting my VA and getting with you, it just made all the sense in the world. I'm able to still live my life.
Before we go there, right? Before we go there, have you ever heard of a VA or a virtual assistant? Have you ever heard of anything like
that? I mean, I think I've heard of it, but I still didn't. I mean, it didn't register. No, no, not seriously.
Yeah. So pretty much not even knowing or understanding the concept of a VA. And then, I kind of broke it down to you because, I did see that you had a lot of things on your plate. And, and I did see that you did want to, take off because you were taking the real estate thing serious, but you would get pulled in so many directions. Yeah. And so then you got introduced to the VA thing. And then where did your mind go then? Like, once you got introduced to it, the concept of having a virtual assistant, and then where did your mind go then?
My only thought was sky's the limit. I'm like, okay, well, if I can have her doing this, I could be doing this on this side, and I can make all this work.
So your biggest thing was prior for you was
timing. Not enough time in the day.
Not enough time in the day. And for people who don't know, Smart Money, consulting with Smart Money, our biggest thing with our clients is to help them reclaim their time back. And we also want to help them have a better work-life integration. Because, when you're being an entrepreneur and you're being a business, a business professional, you have to balance the business life and personal life. I know you got a son, he's playing football. Like you said, you're a husband, so you got to maintain, being a great husband to your wife, and then you got your businesses going. So tell me how Roma, right? Because we're going to talk about Roma is his VA. So tell me us implementing Roma into your work life situation, and how has that helped?
I look at Roma as being a blessing to my
Mm.
situation because like I said, I can get up in the morning. She comes, she signs on. She let me know that she's at work. She able to make phone calls. She able to send messages out. Um, while I do whatever I have to do, come back and we work together. And she's still there, and we just communicate real well together. Uh, thought it might have been like a at first, thinking like, okay, well, this might be a little strenuous, but it all worked out, man. It wasn't hard at all. Like I said, a blessing would be that because she's able to take on a lot that what me not having to do, with my timing of the day, as far as like you said, football practice, my dogs, man, coming home to cook and things like that.
So she's able to handle a lot of the brunt work for the day to day for your real estate ventures, right?
Yes.
Um, so she's pulling lists for you. She's making the cold calls. She's monitoring the CRM for you. And then you go handle your stuff for during the day, and then before her shifts, you're coming back, you're working with her, y'all putting together offers, and I actually work on the back end with Roma with a lot of stuff situation that she's handling for you. And I mean, every time she comes back and she shows me what y'all got going on, I'm just amazed how much progress that y'all have gotten done so far. I mean,
Yeah.
in just a short amount of time, especially with um, properties being already under contract. I know you got a big property, a big situation under contract already,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you're working on that. And I know Roma was a big deal, a big part of that.
Definitely
So
couldn't have did it without her.
yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about her actual role in this last deal that you got under contract. Your closing date is about to be coming up in a few weeks. So specifically, what did she do on this deal that you felt like that was a blessing and that really helped the deal go all the way through?
Well, she was able to send out the offer. Me and her
Okay.
worked together on that. She came up with an offer. I liked her offer. I told her to send it out.
Okay.
She sent it out. The seller, he agreed with the offer, and she made up we sent him the contract. He signed. I signed, and that was it. As far as Roma, she's there, man. She's communicating with any and everybody that wants to sell a home or want to know who we are. You got a lot of people just want like, man, who are you guys?
Right,
So
right, right.
she's there to let them know this is what we do, and and it just works. It just works out.
Yeah, so she's doing a lot of the upfront, and you just kind of just giving her directives. Okay, go ahead and send it out. I like that offer.
I
Go
like
ahead and
that.
send it out. Then the next day she gets back into the grind, or after she sends it out, she's back into the grind of making those cold calls for you, still handling potential leads, um, filtering out all the bad leads.
That's fair to me.
Um, right. So that's very important because you have stuff to do, but now you're running another business and you have your VA doing the brunt of the work, the bulk of the work for you.
Exactly.
And that's real big.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me ask you this. So with the way things are going on now, right, and the success that you're already having with Roma in such a short period of time, because I think, man, you shot out like a rocket. I mean, you've only had the service for maybe like 6 months. I don't even think it's that long. I kind
No,
of
no,
lost count.
no. Only like 4 months.
4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got a lot of leads on a lot of potential leads. You got leads under contract. You're talking to a lot of sellers, more sellers than you ever talked to
Ever.
ever, right?
Period.
You have never talked to this amount of many sellers ever, because Roma is there doing the cold calling. I mean, she's probably calling what, 500 a day, 300 a day. I mean, I know you're running big lists because you out there in Chicago.
Right.
I know you're running big lists. So with the amount of success that you've already had and the amount of progress that you've already had, pretty much going from 0 to 100 in just in just a short amount of time, how do you see yourself in the future, right? How do you see yourself in the next 2 to 5 years with the success that you've already had in 3 months? So let's think this out. Let's think in the future. Right. If we're going to be on the same pace, same trajectory, where do you see yourself? How many properties do you have? How many deals do you see you closing? What does that look like monetarily for you in the next 2 to 5 years? If you're going on the same trajectory that you got now, how many houses will you have under your belt? How much will you be worth? I want a number. The people want a number.
The people want a number, man.
I have a number with the projection and with everything that you got going on in such a short period of time, and y'all continue to grow at this same pace. Where do you see yourself? How many properties do you think that you will have that I know that you'll have in the next 2 to 5 years? Let's just say 5. I'll give you a concrete. I won't say 2.
I was just finna say, you said 2 to 5. That's a big gap, y'all.
Yeah, it's a big gap. I apologize. Let me take that back. 5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Man, where do you see yourself on the same trajectory, the same? If y'all don't change nothing and you keep just going in the same trajectory that you're going, in 5 years, where does that put you?
Man, I honestly have a goal. Because I'm building generational wealth. So
yes, I love it. That's what I want to hear.
So my goal is to have, I said by 2 years, I want to have like 15 to 20 houses. So you're saying about 5 years, man. I want to double that.
So we're looking at like 30 properties within the next 5 years. And you can actually see that based off the productivity that you've already accomplished in such a short period of time.
Most definitely.
I love to hear that. So, I mean, tell me about these sellers that you've never talked to, because I know you're talking to a lot of sellers, and Roman's putting these sellers right here in your face, and I mean, you're communicating, you're talking. I mean, what are you finding out about these sellers?
Well, what does that feel like? One of the last sellers I talked to, I think that was like 2 days ago. He was 93 years old, and we stayed on the phone for like 2 hours. And man, I just love the fact that he was just so knowledgeable. He gave me so much game, as they say, as far as what the real estate and how things was back in the days. And he's a multi-millionaire.
Okay.
And he's interested in getting rid of some property next year.
Okay.
He's not in no rush. And I told him, don't rush it, man. You still got 10 more years in you. So
at 93.
At 93, like I said, man, I just find it fun to talk to those type of people, man, that that's still around and just want to get rid of their property, or it's like helping them out also. Right. In his case, he's all right. He just like, young man, I'm gonna make sure if next year when I think about the price, so he was fun to talk to, but he's not the only one. I found myself talking to a lot of them. Either they're in situations where I can help, or they're not. I can't help.
And like you said, you wouldn't even be in front of these people if Roma was not calling.
Oh no.
And putting these in. So I know you're pulling the list for it, and you're doing that. But she's banging that phone out. She's banging that phone out, banging the seat, and putting you in position
to communicate, to talk to them.
Communicate. I love it. I love it. And that's all you asking for is opportunity, because I already know you're a go-getter. Just put somebody in your face and you're gonna close it. You're gonna work it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the utilization of the VAs are for. You got other stuff to do. She sets you an appointment, and then you get on the phone and you build a rapport with the sellers.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go, because I still kind of want to squeeze a little bit more information out of you, right? So
Okay.
I know you working on this deal already under contract. I know you're going to probably apply the little Burr method on this. How much is this potential deal worth? I know you got some fix and flip numbers. I know we got some cash out. I mean, some refinance numbers. I mean, what is on the deal? Like, what at minimum? I don't want to do the high end. At minimum, if you was to fix and flip this property, which I know you're not, you're going to buy and hold. But if you was to fix and flip this property, what was the profit margin on this?
At minimum,
Let's do a minimum. Let's do low end.
Low end 80,000.
Ooh-wee. 80,000 minimum, and this is verified through a real estate agent and their comps.
Yes,
because your first number, because we talked about this, the first numbers were even lower than that.
Yeah,
and then so the real estate agent came back and said, "Hey, I got this. This is what this is what they could potentially be going for."
Yeah, this house was just sold. That house was just sold. This house is this.
Right. So now you got an 80,000 potential margin on the low end. And, you know, we're going to tell the people, how much a week do you pay Roma? And Roma, and let me tell you, what Roma works for me as well. She you know, she comes through my my temp service. And all my VAs are happily paid. They love working for me. They love working for my clients because they're guaranteed to get paid, and they do get bonuses. But how much a week do you pay Roma happily, and she's happily receives that paycheck? How much is that a week?
Well, you know, I got Roma working 2 shifts for me. So
right. So she's full time. So she started out part time.
Yeah.
Now you moved her full time because you was like, no, I need this, and hey. You didn't even tell me. She was like, hey. She was like, hey, Twan already moved me up to full time. I said, damn, did he? I said, okay. I said, hey. I said, that boy, hey, he ready to rock.
Yeah, I'm hungry, man. Hey, one thing you told me, man, that I'll never forget, man. This was a while back. You say you keep your plate full because I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, because the plan was to eat.
Yeah, the plan is to eat, man. So
right. So your plate is full, and you got Roma, so you took her full time. So what is her full time salary weekly? What does that look like for you?
$160.
$160 a week for a full time employee that is bringing you potential leads and leads. The lead that you're currently in now is potential profit of $80,000 minimum. This is the power of having a virtual assistant and having systems in place, rocking with and getting your virtual assistants through smart money VAs. So, and let me backtrack. So let me backtrack. So, you know, we got the 80,000 potential. You're only paying 160, and I want to talk about the onboarding process that you had with us, right? What was that like? Because you never used a VA, you understood the concept, so you're like, hey, this makes sense. Let's bring them on. I don't even know where to start. Where do we start? I just know the concept makes sense. So how easy was that process? Because you mentioned that it was already easy. It's not that big. It's not as hard as everybody, you know, think it may be, of adding a virtual assistant, especially if you never heard of this, or especially if you never done it before. But how easy was that process for you?
It was very easy, especially, you know, dealing with Roma. Me going in saying that, you know, letting her know that, you know, hey, I'm open-minded. We can learn from each other, you know, and let's grow, you know. And she was she was just like, all right, let's get to it. And this is what I know. I let her know this is what I know, which wasn't a whole lot, but she like, don't worry about it. I got you, and just been going from there.
So even with knowing minimum, even though you was already kind of in real estate anyway, you already had a couple properties under your belt, but
Yeah.
now you took it another step further to try to become an expert at this and
Yeah, exactly.
and do this full time as well. So Roma allows you to be able to engage in real estate full time while you still have other stuff that you need to do, run your other businesses. So
Exactly.
I mean I think that's big, and I'm glad that you're here to tell your story. I appreciate you telling your story. I think your story is going to continue to grow. This will not be the first. This will not be the last interview that we have. Because I'm definitely checking back in with you after you complete this project that's on the table now. I know you got some potential deals in the pipeline as we speak, because
Yes, sir.
you're constantly talking to potential sellers, and so I know you're going to be overlapping sellers and deals here shortly in no time.
No
And
time.
so, man, I'm proud. I'm excited for you.
Appreciate it.
I know
Appreciate
you're
it.
excited of you, and you definitely should be proud of yourself. Because you made big leaps and bounds in such a short time. Is really amazing.
Yeah.
Is really amazing. So I want the people to know Twan, his story, your story, and we're going to continue to keep up with your story as your real estate success, furthers into the future. I know you got Roma right now. Maybe later in the future, as you expand into another business, you'll add another virtual assistant as you continue to grow. I'm definitely want to be a part of those 30 properties that, by the end of year 5, I want to be a part of that. I want to be, hey, I had a hand. Me and my virtual assistants had a hand, and Twan getting to his personal financial freedom, his personal freedom into the promised land.
No doubt.
And I know we all working towards the promised land. Everybody's promised land looks different. Yours look 30 properties, and you can actually see it with already the progress that you've already made, and you just want to continue that progress, continue to build off that momentum. It's really it really is amazing. So before we go, man, is there anything else that you want to close out that I might have missed out on that you just want to share with the people about you and Roma or what you got going on? Here's your time. Go ahead and let us know.
No, I just appreciate it. I appreciate you, Charles, for real, man. Not only that I deal with Roma, man, I thank you for, if I have any questions, man, you never hesitated or not answer the phone for me, man. You always been there for me. So, man, I just want to thank you for being a good friend too, man. So
I appreciate it, man, because I definitely want to see you succeed. I know your backstory a little deeper, but when we get further into the future, we'll dig a little bit deeper into that as well, because I know what you come from. I know what you overcame, and this is big, man. I can't wait to highlight your story. We're gonna go ahead and give a shout out to your dogs. Let the people know that you got the dogs on deck, your Instagram and all.
Oh, okay,
all that.
okay,
I
yeah,
want you
man.
to win all the way around. It just ain't about real estate.
Yeah, my man.
I want you to win all the way around.
My man, I'm with Killinois Kennel. You can subscribe us on YouTube. It's KILLINOIS Kennels, KENNELS. So go ahead, man, push that subscribe button, man. You'll see the American Bullies on Killinois Kennels.
Illinois, straight out of Illinois, Illinois. Yeah. So I love it, man. I can't wait for you to be successful all the way around. I know you got goals in the breeding business as well. We talk about a lot of things, man, especially with goals and personal freedom and financial freedom, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there together, and like I said, I'm happy that I'm able to be a part of your success moving forward.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
All right, well, there we have it, y'all. Another successful client, another successful story. And this is definitely a story that we're gonna keep continuing to monitor in the future as he continues to grow and be successful. And that's it, y'all. We'll holla at y'all.
Peace.